Hey guys, welcome to another SRI New Home Showcase. My name is Ainsley and today we're here at Norwood Grand. We are in the heart of Singapore's northern region and this is developed by one of Singapore's most reputable developers, CDL, with an impressive track record since 1963. If you're ready, let's go check it out. So Ken, I understand that it's been a while since we have heard about a new launch happening in the Woodlands area. So it would be interesting to tell everybody a little bit more about Woodlands.
So yes, in fact, the last new launch we saw in Woodlands was all the way back in 2012.
Okay.
That was more than 12 years ago. In the whole of Woodlands, we only have a total of 7 condos.
So does it mean quite low supply in Woodlands?
It is a very low supply. When we did our study on the ratio of HDB versus condo across 3 areas, Woodlands, Sembawang and Yishun, Woodlands has one of the largest ratio, which sits on 1 condo is to 11.5 HDB units thereabout. In Sembawang and Yishun, we are only seeing an average of about 7 to 8 HDB to 1 condo unit.
So does it mean there will be quite a high upgraded demand in Woodlands?
With this ratio, I believe the upgraded resale market will be actually very healthy for this area.
Very nice. So now it's time to orientate us a little bit more about Woodlands, the whole map.
In order to understand Woodlands a lot clearer, we look at Woodlands into 3 major parts.
Okay.
Woodlands South being where Norwood Grand is located,
Right.
together with all the 7 other condos.
Okay.
That is also where Innova Primary School is located at.
Sure.
So this area predominantly will be your amenities together with the residential area. Moving upwards will be your Woodlands Central. That is where your Woodlands Regional Centre is slated to be. Of course, your Causeway Point, Woodlands Civic Centre, and also the latest office development of Wood Square is located over there.
Right.
In fact, we have even more lands that are waiting to be developed in that area. There are 2 white sites up for bidding, similar to what we see in the white side of Jurong Lake District. So you expect a very nice mixed-use development coming up in that area. And we have 2 more mixed-use sites that are all slated to be launched pretty soon.
Okay.
So very exciting plans that are coming up within the Woodlands Central. And of course, we move towards the northern part. That is what we call the Woodlands North. That forms up also part of the regional centre. It is actually going to house a waterfront mixed-use buildings of residential, industrial, businesses and even retail. Woodlands North actually forms up part of the North Coast Innovation Corridor,
Sure.
a very large development that will take place pretty soon.
So talking about the North Coast Innovation Corridor, I think it's about time we dive into the master plan as well. Tell us a little bit more about the master plan happening in Woodlands.
We think that Woodlands and the northern region of Singapore will be the key highlight of the master plan that is going to be announced in 2025 next year. The reason why we think so is because when we look at some of the largest infrastructure that are being constructed today, they are all pointing towards the northern region. Right, so number 1 is the North-South Corridor. It is actually an underground expressway that runs all the way from Woodlands down to the downtown area. This carriage is expected to complete by 2027 in phases.
Right.
The second infrastructure that we saw that was partially completed last year was Thomson East Coast Line.
Sure,
So the Thomson portion has been completed last year. We are actually located just 3 minutes walk to one of the stations. And within about 20 minutes train ride, residents from Norwood Grand can actually easily reach the key areas in Singapore like your Orchard, your downtown and the CBD area through this line, right? Now they are undergoing the construction of the East Coast portion. So in future, residents along Thomson East Coast Line can link to East Coast as well.
Oh, nice.
And eventually it will link all the way to the airport. In fact, 3 of the East-West line, Tanah Merah and your Changi, will be converted into Thomson East Coast Line as well. So it's going to be a very nice flow for people moving in and out of Woodlands. The third one is your RTS Link that is located just beside our Woodlands North MRT station.
Singapore's favourite.
Yes. So we know how Singaporeans love entering into JB for their grocery shopping, their massage, pedicure and whatnots, right?
Yeah.
So this RTS Link will carry passengers from Woodlands to JB in just 6 minutes train ride. And it is also expected to complete by 2027. So coincidentally, all these 3 infrastructure are all expected to be completed around the same year.
Right.
And it is very near to the current year we are in now, which is why we believe Woodlands and the northern part of Singapore will be one of the key highlights in 2025 master plan.
Right. So Ken, out of curiosity, you mentioned about the 3 major infrastructures, but would there be a lot of lands as well that will be released? Because you did mention a little bit about lands and all that stuff.
Infrastructure usually comes with release of land, so that there's population being injected into a growth area. So the other larger point that we believe that Woodlands and the northern part of Singapore will be a key highlight is actually the number of lands that are being released. One of it being your turf club, in Kranji. So government has taken back the land. They are slated to launch residential units in the area. In fact, they stated very clearly it is to support the growth of Woodlands Regional Centre and the North Coast Innovation Corridor. The second one we saw was actually Chencharu, that is located nearer to your Yishun area. They have freed up land and they have launched their first round of BTOs that are fully subscribed already. And of course, the third one, we know that we are going to see Orchid Country Club lease to end by 2030. They are taking back that land. We will also see waterfront residential coming up in the area. So all these are very huge sign of population injection to prepare for a very large development in the northern region.
Right. Okay, so what are some of the developments that you think we'll be able to anticipate for next year's master plan announcement?
Right, so there are a lot to talk about in the northern region, but maybe let's talk about the key highlight, which is your North Coast Innovation Corridor. The name itself suggests that there will be R&D, largely innovation businesses that will run inside there. It will run all the way from Woodlands Regional Centre, cutting through towards Sembawang, and that's where your Sembawang shipyard is.
Yes.
That shipyard is moving as well. It's going to move all the way to the Tuas Megaport, freeing up a lot of valuable waterfront land for businesses, industrial and residential, and I think it's going to be high value.
Right.
And then it will run all the way towards your Seletar. You have your Seletar Aerospace Park that is aiming to open up a fourth tech park in the area. And of course, there's another regional centre coming up in Seletar, and we are just about maybe 10-15 minutes drive away. It will end off eventually in Punggol, Digital District. So that's how the whole North Coast Innovation Corridor will run. Towards the western side, Woodlands Regional Centre will be epicenter. Towards the western side, it will actually be running your Agritech Food Corridor, and it forms a part of another tech and innovation portion. Singapore is targeting what they call the 30 by 30.
What's 30 by 30?
So they are aiming that by 2030, Singapore's food supply to be minimally 30% locally produced. So we depend lesser on imports from other countries. I think this whole stretch is going to be one very large focus on government's development in the next 10 to 15 years, which is why it's so exciting to see how Woodlands Norwood Grand in fact is coming in as a first mover at a very affordable price now before the potential all start running up.
So Ken, you mentioned about North Coast Innovation Corridor. So is that something going to be something similar like Circle Line, to support the whole North Coast Innovation Corridor?
I think that's a very good point. So we know Circle Line was catered to support Greater Southern Waterfront. So LTA is currently doing a feasibility study where they are planning for an MRT line that runs from Woodlands to Sembawang, Seletar, and then cutting all the way down to your downtown area. So if that line comes in, then we will have a very nice completion of the growth of the northern region. So a lot of exciting things coming up.
I think it's time to go check out the show model. Let's go.
Let's go. Ainsley, we are here at the model of Norwood Grand. This beauty will definitely stand out amongst the 7 private residential in Woodlands. You can see how clean and modern looking this entire building is. So the architect, the renowned ADDP, actually uses arboreal architecture to design this entire development. What do they mean by that is they wanted to blend in seamlessly on the landscaping together with the design of the buildings. So you can see how nicely the design blends through. They wanted to create formless and seamless landscaping, yet at the same time they wanted to plant some uniformity within the whole landscaping itself. So what do I mean by that? As you come in towards the drop-off area, you can see that it actually breaks the usual line of architecture with the curvature of the drop-off area linking all the way to the back, where you see the architect integrates 3 pools together. Your 50 meters lap pool, your kids pool and your jacuzzi pool. It forms up a very nice design where the 50 meters lap pool is regular in the usual shape. It integrates seamlessly together with the kids pool. There are more curvatures around the area. At the same time, the landscape architect has planted frangipani trees on very uniform space to give that uniformity that they wanted to create. They also planted frangipani trees on purpose in front of every single ground floor unit so that there will be a touch of colour amongst the greens that is around the whole of Norwood Grand. As you go down towards the end of this development, that's where you have an elevated boardwalk above ground. You can actually look at how the whole landscaping is being designed.
And that kind of leads you to the gym and the dance studio and all that stuff.
It will lead you to the clubhouse where you have a cantilever gym overlooking the pool area. Function room at the bottom, and of course a dance studio. And located just behind it is actually a tennis court. So this land actually sits on a total of more than 150,000 square feet of land with a total of 348 units of 1 bedrooms to 4 bedrooms. Smaller units of the 1 and 2 bedrooms forms up about 43% of the entire development. So majority of the units slightly more on the residential homestay. So I think this will be a very nice low density development that people get to enjoy within Norwood Grand. Norwood Grand is also awarded the BCA Platinum Super Low Energy Award, and they have achieved this through installation of solar panels to reduce the energy usage and spending on the common areas. They have also chosen high quality glass to have heat reduction.
Right.
Every unit is also given with a ceiling fan to ventilate the area. And of course, there are a lot of other small little things that they have done to achieve this award. And I think in the long run, it will definitely benefit residents. So Norwood Grand comes with a childcare centre as well, which is super apt since we have majority of the units for family homestay. They have also designed the bin centre and a substation to be at the basement. And I think this is good because residents don't get a chance to see this, the most unsightly part of the condo.
So we're at one of our show units. This is a 2-bed, 2-bath class study, 710 square feet. And we have Wayne here, our project IC, who'll be sharing with us a little bit more about all the good stuff about this unit. So let's go.
Okay, come, let's go. So for this 2-bedroom with study configuration, it has a very refreshing layout whereby you will find that the common shower is actually located en route from your main entrance. So it is located before your common area. Okay, then the study itself is also another place whereby it's very flexible for you to easily transform it into a small play area, or you can easily convert it into a work area or even a more lifestyle kind of bar setup.
So it's kind of like a flexi space kind of thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually very big.
Yes, and to top it off, it also comes with an AC. So in the event that, let's say you would need a domestic helper, it can also be easily transformed into another helper's room. With a full open concept kitchen, it gives you that very nice integration of space whereby it flows seamlessly into your living and all the way to your balcony.
Yeah, for sure.
And with your wall-to-wall distance of 2.7 meters, your living area itself, it can easily fit a 50 to a 60-inch TV, not a problem at all.
So the viewing distance is okay, yeah?
Yes.
And so we're standing right here at the entrance of our 4-bedder show unit. This is a 4-bedroom, 1313 square feet. And we have Joseph, another project IC, who'll be sharing with us all the unique features about this 4-bedder. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so if you can see at the entrance straight away, you notice that the width is quite wide. So you actually have a lot of space coming in. If you do decide, you can actually do your own cabinetry here, so you have more places for your shoes.
So just take note, the door opens this way, yeah? So this is actually a wall, right?
That's right,
yeah,
that's
okay.
right. So actually the door actually comes with a digital lock. What's nice is because actually it's an L-shaped entrance, so you do have a lot of privacy. You want to leave your door open, no one can look into your unit as well.
So we're standing here at the kitchen now. Joseph, what are some of the unique features about, that stands out?
Okay, so what you notice in the kitchen is that you have cabinetry on the left side as well as the right side.
Oh yeah, 2 panels, yep.
So you have a lot of space if you need more things to put into your kitchen areas. What's nice is also we have windows out here as well as at the back.
The other side as well.
So you have very good ventilation throughout the kitchen itself.
Yeah, and it's enclosable, so...
Yes, that's right. In terms of brands, we have very good brands with Bosch, our cooking materials, as well as Samsung fridge itself. Of course, if you do have a helper, we have a home shelter which you can actually use it for storage or helper's room, as well as a water closet for her to use her bathroom as well. Okay, so what you have in the dining area is a very comfortable space. If you'd like to host friends, you can easily fit 10 people in your dining area. Provided for you is also a dry kitchen with cabinetry all done up for you nicely by the developer itself. You also have 2 air conditionings in the living and dining area, and in the living room itself, the width is about 3.2, which is actually more than the standard sizes, which actually is very comfortable. Additionally, the balcony is not too large, so you actually do save a lot of space. However, you want to host friends and make the living room a bit larger, you can consider doing a zip track and then extending the space out a little bit more. So now we're in the study area. What you find is the space is actually very comfortable. You actually have an air conditioning as well as full height windows within the study area itself. So if you do decide you need additional bedrooms, you can enclose this entire study area and you can put in a single bed, which will make you a 5-bedroom unit actually.
And so we're standing here at the master bedroom. I must say it feels quite sizable, quite different. Share with us a little bit more, Joseph.
Okay, so if you look at the master bedroom, the width is already 3.7 meters long. But if you do need a bit more space, you also have a balcony outside. If you want to deck it up, make it a bit larger, you could do that as well. The master bedroom also comes with wardrobes on either side for his and her, as well as an accessory portion if you want to put in your belts, your perfumes, all inside as well. Of course, the master bath is pretty spacious and comes naturally ventilated too.
Norwood Grand is slated to be one of the most affordable new launch this year and next year.
Right.
I think they should launch around the range of about $2,000 per square foot. With OCR launches averaging at about 2.2 to 2.3 per square foot, I think Norwood Grand presents a very attractive and affordable option for investors and homeowners alike.
Okay.
We have seen how prices have more than doubled in Jurong
Yeah, for sure.
in the past 10 to 15 years, how they have overtaken other districts in terms of per square foot because of the injection of master plan growth in the area.
That's right.
We think it will be the same for Woodlands in the very near future. With the announcement of master plan in 2025, just 3 minutes to Woodlands South MRT station, very close to RTS Link, even to the North Coast Innovation Corridor. We are excited to see how Woodlands will continue to grow in terms of pricing and in terms of development.
For sure. So just to let you guys know, we want to see you here, 4th of October. That is our public preview. So come on by to the show flat, contact your preferred SRI salesperson. Of course, we do have a consumer seminar as well happening on the 14th of October. Ken will be sharing a little bit more during the consumer seminar. And finally, the public booking day is on the 19th of October. So we want to see you here. And once again, my name is Ainsley.
My name is Ken.
And we see you guys at Norwood Grand.